Welcome, everyone, to a journey where we hold more than just pocket change. We hold a piece of American history that could be worth a small fortune. First up, we're focusing on a single, incredible coin, the 1973 USA half-dollar Liberty coin with the D mint mark. While over 83 million of these were struck at the Denver Mint, the vast majority are common, but it's the rare exceptions that make this coin so valuable. This coin was born from a time of change. Following the assassination of President John F. Kennedy in 1963, Congress acted swiftly to honor him, releasing the first Kennedy half-dollar in early 1964. The 1973 version is significant because it's part of the clad era. Starting in 1971, the U.S. Mint eliminated silver from circulating half-dollars, replacing it with a copper-nickel clad composition to save money. The 1973 D was made entirely of this new alloy, 75% copper and 25% nickel. The D mint mark, found on the reverse under the eagle's left talon, tells us it was struck at the Denver Mint, which produced 83,171,400 of these coins that year. So why is this coin so valuable? The simple answer is condition and errors. A typical circulated 1973 D Kennedy half-dollar is only worth its face value of 50 cents, or maybe 60 cents to 75 cents. Even a pristine, uncirculated example in MS-63 to MS-65 condition might only fetch between $9 and $32. However, the value skyrockets for coins in flawless, gem condition. An MS-66 graded coin can be worth around $250, and an MS-67 can command $400 or more. The true jackpot is the 1973 D double die obverse DDO era variety. This fascinating minting mistake creates a noticeable doubling in the lettering and design on the front of the coin. These special DDO coins can sell for anywhere from $25 to over $1,700. But we're just getting started. The maximum value for a standard 1973 D half-dollar in top condition is a staggering $1,704. That's a massive return on a 50-cent piece. Even rarer are major mint errors, like a coin struck on a wrong planchet or with a major off-center strike, which can be worth between $500 and $3,000 or more. This means the coin in your hand could be a hidden treasure worth thousands of dollars. So what's the maximum price you can sell it for? If you have a pristine, error-free 1973 D, you're looking at a potential sale price of up to $1,704. But if you're lucky enough to possess a high-grade DDO variety, you could be sitting on a coin worth up to $1,700. Don't let this opportunity slip through your fingers. Check your change, look through your old coin collections, and examine that 1973 D half-dollar closely. Look for that doubling on the obverse and assess its condition. The coin you've overlooked for years could be your ticket to a substantial payday. Stay tuned as we uncover more hidden gems in the world of coin collecting. Next coin, the 1776-1976 Bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar featuring Independence Hall on the reverse, is one of the most iconic American coins ever minted. And I am here to tell you exactly why this coin is valuable, why its value is going to climb higher, and what the absolute maximum price you can expect to get for it is. The Bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar was struck to celebrate the 200th anniversary of American independence. The United States Mint held a design competition open to every American citizen, receiving 884 entries, and Seth G. Huntington's stunning depiction of Independence Hall was chosen as the winner. This was the first time in decades that the public had a direct say in the design of American coinage, making this coin historically significant beyond just its metal content. The obverse features the beloved portrait of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, but here is what makes it special. It carries the dual date 1776-1976, a feature that appears on no other Kennedy half-dollar before or since. This was a 2-year issue struck in both 1975 and 1976, but every single coin bears that same historic dual dating. The reverse is the only one in the entire Kennedy half-dollar series to feature Independence Hall instead of the presidential seal, making it a one-year-only design that collectors must have to complete their sets. Now let us talk about the different versions, because this is where the value really starts to separate. The Philadelphia Mint produced 234,308,000 clad business strikes with no mint mark. The Denver Mint produced 287,565,248 clad business strikes with the D mint mark. Combined, that is over 521 million clad circulation strike coins. But here is what most people do not understand. The San Francisco Mint also produced 11,040% silver uncirculated bicentennial halves and another 4,040% silver proof strikes. These silver versions are where the serious money begins. The current melt value of the 40% silver bicentennial half dollar as of May 2026 is $11.15 just for the silver content alone. That means even a worn-out silver bicentennial half dollar is worth more than 20 times its face value right now, and silver prices continue to climb. But that is just the beginning of what this coin can bring you. For the common clad circulation strikes found in pocket change, you are looking at face value of 50 cents in circulated condition. In typical uncirculated condition, these might bring a few dollars. At MS63 grade, clad coins are worth approximately $3 to $5. At MS65 or higher, clad examples can bring $15 or more. But here is where the story gets exciting. The Graysheet Price Guide lists values for this series, ranging all the way from 50 cents to an astonishing $8,000. That $8,000 figure is not a typo, and I am going to tell you exactly how to get it. The grading curve for bicentennial halves is famously steep. Most surviving mint state coins show bag marks or dull luster because they were banged against each other during transport. Census data from PCGS and NGC shows fewer than 100 examples graded MS69 across all bicentennial halves. The population reports make dramatic drops above MS66, particularly for clad business strikes. This is what creates the exponential value curve that makes these coins so valuable. PCGS has certified only 3 examples of the clad bicentennial half dollar in MS67 plus condition. One of these exceptional specimens sold at public auction in 2014 for $2,585. Another MS67 plus example was listed with a starting bid of $3,900 at Great Collections. The 1976 D clad half dollar graded MS67 by PCGS sold at Heritage Auctions on February 25, 2026 for $488. The average price for MS67 examples across all years is approximately $488. A PCGS MS67 silver example is valued in the range of $50 to $70, but these are just the beginning. The 1976 S silver proof bicentennial half dollar graded PR69 DCAM is a premium grade that offers top-tier eye appeal and strong market demand. A Proof 67 example has sold for $1,100. A silver proof graded PR70 DCAM sold for $408 at Stack's Bowers in February 2022. Another PR70 DCAM example sold for $2,402. The Graysheet Price Guide for Proof Kennedy halves lists values between $2.15 and $850. But remember, these are guide prices. Actual auction results often exceed them significantly. Now let me tell you about the era varieties, because this is where the real treasure lies. A 1976 D bicentennial half dollar struck on a silver planchet can bring $375 to over $8,400. Planchet mix-ups have sold for $8,400. A double-struck 1976 Kennedy half dollar with the second strike placed 40% off center sold for significant money. An overweight era coin weighing 11.54 grams instead of the normal 11.34 grams is another valuable variety. The 1976 S double die reverse FS 801 is valued at $450. The DDO001 FS1 one double die obverse shows doubling in God WE trust. These errors significantly increase value, particularly in uncirculated condition. Die clashes, progressive cracks through the bell tower, wrong planchet errors, double strikes, and clad layer missing errors all reward sharp-eyed collectors. The documented die varieties of the Bicentennial Half Dollar remain under-catalogued compared with marquee series. Specialists continue to surface minor hub doubling and die clashes that remain unattributed by the major grading services. The compressed bicentennial production schedule accelerated die fatigue, which resulted in subtle anomalies that reward sharp-eyed collectors. This means there are still undiscovered varieties sitting in collections and bank rolls right now, waiting for someone to recognize their value. The 1976 No S pattern half dollar is another spectacular rarity. These proof coins were struck without the S mint mark and are extremely valuable. The gray sheet lists specific values for these No S pattern varieties. If you have one of these, you are holding a true numismatic treasure. Now let me address the future potential of this coin. The Bicentennial Kennedy Half Dollar is a quintessential American modern coin. Collectors assembling comprehensive Kennedy Half Dollar sets must acquire this specific reverse to maintain continuity. Unlike transitional designs, the Bicentennial reverse was a hard cutoff. No 1975 dated halves exist, and no 1977 dated coins featured the Bicentennial design. This is what artificially inflates demand and will continue to do so for decades to come. As we approach the 250th anniversary of American independence in 2026, interest in bicentennial coinage is reaching new heights. While some analysts say common examples are not likely to go up in value despite the anniversary, the high-grade specimens and era varieties tell a completely different story. The coins that were hoarded by the public in the 1970s are now being graded with modern standards. And many are failing to achieve the high grades that command premium prices. What makes this coin truly special for future appreciation is its role as a gateway coin. Millions of Americans remember these coins from their childhood, and as they enter the collecting hobby, they seek out the coins they remember. This emotional connection creates sustained demand that transcends mere metal value. The 40% silver composition of the San Francisco issues provides a floor price that rises with silver spot prices. The clad issues have no such floor, but their condition rarity more than makes up for it. The maximum value this coin can achieve depends entirely on which version you have. For a common circulated clad example, the maximum is 50 cents to maybe $1. For an uncirculated MS63 clad example, the maximum is approximately $5. For a choice MS65 clad example, the maximum is $15 or more. For an MS67 clad example, the maximum is around $488 to $500. For an MS67 plus clad example, the maximum is $2,585 to $3,900 or possibly higher. For a silver-proof PR70 DCAM, the maximum is $2,402. For a double die variety FS101, the maximum is $450. For a wrong planchet error, the maximum is $8,400. For the absolute top-tier examples, the gray sheet suggests values up to $8,000. Some sources indicate certain rare varieties could reach $10,000 or more. The most expensive 1776 to 1976 half dollar ever recorded by the Professional Coin Grading Company was graded MS64 and sold for $3,150. That is over 6,000 times its face value. Think about that for a moment. A coin that cost 50 cents when it was new, a coin that millions of people spent as pocket change, a coin that some people still have sitting in jars and drawers right now, sold for $3,150. And there are examples that have sold for even more than that. Here is my message to every single person watching this video. Do not let anyone tell you that the Bicentennial Kennedy half dollar is not valuable. It is valuable. It is historically significant. It is the only Kennedy half dollar with the Independence Hall reverse. It is the only Kennedy half dollar with the dual 17761976 date. It is the only Kennedy half dollar from a public design competition. It is the only Kennedy half dollar that tells the story of America's 200th birthday on its face. The bicentennial Kennedy half dollar is valuable right now, and it is going to become more valuable in the future. The high-grade specimens are already commanding thousands of dollars. The era varieties are already commanding thousands of dollars. The silver content alone is worth over $11. And as more people discover the joy of coin collecting, as the 250th anniversary approaches, as silver prices continue to rise, as the population of high-grade examples remains static while demand increases, the value of these coins will only go up. Check your pocket change. Check your jars of coins. Check your parents' and grandparents' collections. Look for the D mint mark. Look for the S mint mark. Look for the silver edge. Look for doubling in the lettering. Look for off-center strikes. Look for the no S variety. You could be holding a coin worth $488, $1,100, $2,585, $3,150, $3,900, $8,000, or even $10,000 or more. The bicentennial Kennedy half dollar is not just pocket change. It is a piece of American history, a work of art, and potentially a significant investment. Do not spend it. Do not give it away. Get it graded. Get it certified, and watch its value climb higher and higher as the years go by. This coin is valuable, it is undervalued, and it is going to be worth even more tomorrow than it is today. That is the truth about the 1776-1976 bicentennial Kennedy half dollar.